Letchaknow. 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 Letchaknow.
Hey, welcome to the Let You Know podcast. Tonight we got my boy NOOZ in the house.
What up, though? NOOZ, the AKA the Let You Know logo. I smoke till I'm in slow-mo. And mi favorito, el color is el rojo. You know what it is.
Yeah, all that. My buddy Sly Fox in the house.
Yo.
Here we go. My boy Red Pill Crip at the bottom left.
You already know what time it is, man. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. And it looks like Eric just walked in the building. Good to see Eric.
What's going on? Ready to
bruh.
go. Let's do
Okay.
it. Let's do
And
it.
Mr. Bobby Johnson back with us.
What up, Bob? You back in the fold?
What's up, man?
All right, let's go. Let's go. So
tonight-
okay, so this is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm of course introduce everybody, and then I'm gonna introduce you last, and then once you introduce yourself,
Hey, baby. We record, baby.
we're
You're late. We on it.
My bad.
We record. We live.
My bad.
All right.
What's going on? Let you know, fans. Don't even worry about what I was talking about. Fuck all what I was talking about, man.
No, he
Salute
good. Don't worry about it.
everybody. What's going on? You see my panel. I got the NOOZ over here. What's going on, baby?
Hey, man, we just did the intros.
Where you
My
did
name
that,
is
Eric?
Well, that's
NOOZ,
okay. I'm
AKA the
here.
Let
I'm
You
gonna
Know
do it one
logo.
more time. You do one more
AKA
time.
the Let You
man.
Know logo. I smoked till I'm in slow-mo. What did I say? Mi favorito, el color is el rojo. And I like ketchup on my glizzies. No homo.
Oh shit. Uh-oh. Wait.
You picked the
Sly
right
Fox,
one.
how you doing, man?
Okay.
For the second
Chillin'. Good to be back.
Bobby Johnson, what's going on with you?
What's up, man?
Red Pill in the house, what's going on with you?
You already know, man. Blessings, brother.
Yeah. And then we got P, man. What's going on with you, P?
Ready to start the show tonight, man?
Let's go. What we got tonight?
Okay. So tonight, we're kind of piggybacking on all the violence in this country, and we're going to step away from the violence we normally talk about, and we're going to talk about what seems to be a pattern of trans violence in this country. And a lot of things seem to stem from them not being called the right pronouns, them getting mad about, not believing in their existence, which I don't know where that comes from. And a lot of things they talk about is oppression. They're in their oppression era, their civil rights era, and I have a problem with calling it a civil rights era. So first I wanted to go to Bobby Johnson because we were talking in the background about this. Go ahead and kind of restate your point on the pronouns in general.
Yeah, so as far as the pronouns, I mean, I don't have a problem with anybody, the LGBTQ community, whether you're trans, gay, whatever. But I think, with this whole past election and just people in general, probably not so much now because we're seeing a definite rebellion, but I feel like maybe like 3 years ago, you saw a lot of people, I don't know, they had the feel like the pronouns were getting shoved down their throat. So they rebelled and they turned out to the voting booth and you saw that. And I think that had a lot to do with it. Not that they had anything to do with trans or gay people as a whole, but they didn't like the fact that pronouns were getting shoved down their throat.
Which I think is a lot of people's concern. Like my personal concerns, not concerns, but my feelings on it. I have a singular trans friend. I didn't know he was trans until he went trans, of course. A few gay friends and things like that. And I try to explain to them too, and they feel what I'm talking about is what Bobby just said. Is if you want to live that way and you want to think that way and that's how you want to be, then great. I'm fine with it. That's what tolerance is believing in everybody's right to do what they want to do. But when you have to start putting it on every single fucking TV show, movie, music, banner, it gets old.
But do you want to know why that was the case, though? Why it was in everything for that last 4 years?
Well, they were trying to get their voter base up.
Well, it's not even that so much as if you go and follow the ending of USAID under the Trump administration, Mike Benz breaks it down on Tucker Carlson pretty well. They were literally, USAID was literally funding the inclusion for all of that. They literally had their funding in Disney and everybody else that was representing it in shoehorning it into the regular stories and stuff like that. Because if you noticed, once USAID ended, all of that stuff stopped. All the companies stopped doing the Gay Pride Month stuff. You didn't see any companies really partake in it this year, whereas last year every single one did because they were getting kickback monies from the government for it.
Even the cities are getting rid of like their gay pride street paint, and they're getting rid of the flags. And
because all the funding stopped. They stopped getting money for having these things and having these programs. Right. So once the money stopped, these programs stopped altogether because it was a direct misrepresentation of how many of them there are. It's less than 1% of the population and a very small part of the gay community.
Yeah. I heard someone trying to chime in. Nobody. Let's talk ski real quick. This was something you wanted to bring up this week, the pronouns and just the wild nature of it. So go ahead and kind of state what you were talking about.
Well, I don't know the young man that was just speaking, but he kind of hit it on the head a little bit. But I was more speaking of how it's being interpreted in the workplace and just in the societal ways of like commerce and business and just how you interact with people. I work for a conglomerate. And I had to get sensitivity training because somebody came in and I was sitting in for someone just while they were on their lunch, and I was just filling in for them, just sitting there. And a person came in, he looked like a man to me, big guy, didn't notice his nails was polished and so on and so forth. And I called him a sir 3 times. So by the time I got back to my car, got to my next center, I got an email from my boss saying that, I offended the person and that I needed to take sensitivity training. So
really?
I had to do a whole 8-hour training, like for real, like training.
No.
Wait.
Because
you called him sir?
Yeah, because he felt like he was a woman.
No, because he identified as a woman, but the way he looked to me in a suit, burly, big guy, stocky guy, I refer to him as sir because I have a military family. So I'm just saying yes, ma'am, and no, sir, automatic. When I turned around to greet him, I said, good morning, how are you today, sir? And he didn't correct me then. And I said, who are you here for? He told me the person's name. I said, just give me 1 second, sir. So when I said it the second time, he said, ma'am, but he said it kind of low, right? So I'm like, okay, I heard it, but it was just the looking at him and hearing ma'am, it just didn't register. You know what I mean? So I, called up there, so he was there. And so I told him, I said, told him the person's name, he'll be back with you, sir. And it just, and it was cordial, it was nice. I'm a nice person. I'm a professional. But by the time I got to my next center, I got the email because he talked to somebody of power because that's who he was going to see, right? And he basically said, I was very pleasant, but I need to be more gender fluid and understand the this and that. And I was just like, whoa, so and then so they asked me when I did the training in 8 hours, like, was I gonna put my pronouns in my email? I said, I don't have any pronouns. I'm a woman. Like, I mean, if you think Shemiski is a boy name or whatever name, I don't know, but I don't have them. So they were like trying to explain to me like the importance of, identifying. I've never had to identify as nothing. Like, I'm just me. I'm Ski or Shemiski. Like, so I've just feel like now with that experience and now looking forward and the way I move and stuff, it's totally like, he felt some type of way when I wasn't even disrespecting him. So I just felt.
I got a question. Yeah. So did they even let you know before you even spoke to this person that you were supposed to call him her?
No, like that's the thing. That's what I said. Like, no, it wasn't no precursor. They didn't say like, hey.
It's a lot of don't ask, don't tell in corporate America. I work for Fortune 50 as well in an office. Yeah. It's don't ask, don't tell, and like unless you interact with them personally, then they should tell you like, hey, I'm a whatever the fuck. Because I've got a couple at my office too. But like, in corporate America, it's a big deal. If you misgender them, if you say something off, or if you say like the wrong thing and they go to HR, it's a big deal.
But I had to get that. It was 8 hours a whole, and I did it like in 2 days. Like, I didn't have it planned. I didn't get to schedule it out. I had to do it within 48 hours. Like, it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna do it in a couple of weeks. No, I did it. I think that happened on a Tuesday. I did it that Thursday. And it was so repetitive, and just the training itself was just. I was flabbergasted. Like, this is a whole curriculum. Like, this is like, I learned so much about LGBTQ, you know, all that, in the way, you know, it was just like, damn, am I gonna get a certificate? You know,
Right.
that's how much information it
Let's
was.
go to
You
Eric
know?
real quick. He's got something to put out there.
I just want to piggyback what Sly Fox said. You said you work in the Fortune 500 companies. That's what you said.
I work for a Fortune 50 company, so like
Fortune.
we're up there. We're top 20 in the Fortune 50. So like this is like corporate America.
So when you say it's a big deal, like elaborate what you mean about a big deal. Like what
So
type of
so
consequences do you get if something like that happens?
so we had a couple of coworkers. They were two women who were trying to be men. They were dating. They were on the same shift, and somebody had said something because they even changed their names, and it's like their email was their real name, but you can't call them that because they go by this. But they weren't like really uppity about it. Like they weren't really like in your face, like, hey, you know, I'm this, that, and the third. They were really cool. They were chill as fuck, but like they were also taking testosterone. They were doing the treatment, so like sometimes they're unbalanced, and sometimes they'd go off the fucking wall, you know. But if you they never reported anybody for saying anything, but I did have a coworker get fired for saying I don't remember exactly what he said. He didn't even say something like off color, but like they took it super offensively, and yeah, he got let go. It was not you know, there's no arguments. They let him go.
I want to say this too, Sly. It's also when I had to go do the sensitivity training and talk to my boss and her boss, I think it also was about your take on it too, though, depending on, you know, how your, you know, coaching or how your, you know, went. It was about how you were perceived when they corrected you about it, or when they asked you about your pronouns, or when they asked you about, you know, your, you know, just your.
Are you rehabilitated? They're trying to find out if it's rehabilitated or not.
Basically,
Exactly.
so that
That's what
kind
it
of
feels
determined
like.
too, like if you got 1 day of coaching or 1 day assist, you know what I'm saying? It kind of determined, you know, how they gave you that training to solidify you knowing what you need to know in this.
So I just did my HR my sexual harassment training. I just did it yesterday, which is funny that we're on this topic now because it literally every year it seems for the I've worked at this company for 10 years. So every year it seems that section gets longer and longer and longer about how offensive you can be to certain kinds of people. And they've expanded more into like women too, and like, you know, because more women are in the workplace and whatever. But like the fact that they keep adding and adding and adding the LGBT stuff, and like a good 30 minutes of the video was just dealing with one trans character that was in, you know, in the videos.
Okay. So now that we have kind of a base idea of what we feel about, you know, how things work, I want to talk about basically the compelled speech aspect of this. Because if somebody comes up to me, let's put it this way: if somebody comes up to me, it could be anyone. They're wearing a, you know, a Mickey Mouse costume, and I call them Mickey Mouse, and they're happy about being called Mickey Mouse. Well, it's because I noticed that they were Mickey Mouse, and you know, I know what they are, and it doesn't. I'm not confused about what's going on here. But if you got someone that walks up, you know, 6'4", huge muscles, male pattern baldness, maybe a little goatee going on, but they have makeup on and they want me to call them a woman, well, I have a problem with that, because you're kind of telling me what I'm supposed to say to you, which is not how we're supposed to act. If you earn that, or if you tell me that and I feel like calling you that, well, that's on me. But if I get in trouble for not calling you, you know, things like a woman when you're a man, well, I'm okay with that. So
let me say something to you, Pat. So you just a question. This is for everybody on here. So y'all mean to tell me if a motherfucker walked in here looking like this, right? Muscles like that, say, hey man, I'm a woman, man. You mean to tell me you gonna sit here and keep calling this motherfucker a man? Is that what y'all telling me? This person right here on the screen.
Yeah. That's
well, the one on the right looks like a woman. I mean, even though it's
the same person.
Probably not.
It's the same person. It's the same person.
I know.
All I'm saying is this: that motherfucker's going to choke you the fuck out, right?
That's okay.
You could have avoided that choke out or that punch in the face or whatever consequences going to come with not respecting whatever that motherfucker's asking you to call.
And that's what the thing is too. It's really, but I mean, I'm respect the person regardless, right? You know what I mean? It's just given, but just dealing with different people from different perspectives in life and backgrounds and just whatever. It's just really just a respect thing, you know. And honestly, keeping it P with you, the man that came into my establishment, this man was like 250 pounds stocky. I thought he could have been a linebacker or something. You know what I mean? I didn't notice his nails was polished. I didn't hear his soft voice because when he said, I mean, he kind of had, you know, I mean, yeah, basically.
Crazy.
I'm just saying a little. I mean,
Look at the shoulder muscles.
but listen, he wasn't that cut up. You know what I mean? He was a little, you know, he had like you know.
But there's women that's that big too, though. I mean, there's women bodybuilders too now.
Nah, dog, ain't no woman this big, dog. Ain't no woman this big, dog.
Yeah, they physically can't get that big.
No, he's got a tree on his shoulders.
Yeah, he's holding a tree.
She might log off, nigga.
So
No,
okay, so I wanted to ask Pat something too. You were saying Mickey Mouse. Like, give the viewers the term what that means so they understand. Like, some people might not know what you mean.
They don't know who Mickey Mouse is?
Well, they know Mickey Mouse. I thought it was a term.
No, I was giving an example saying, like, if I walked up to someone that was dressed up in a Mickey Mouse costume, I'd be like, hey, what's up, Mickey? It would make sense for me. I'm seeing Mickey Mouse. I know there's someone inside the costume, but it's Mickey Mouse.
Right.
But I was saying, if I see a man walk up to me with burly shoulders, back hair, a goatee, male pattern baldness, and he puts some makeup on, and you have to call me a woman. I was like, no, I don't, bro. I really don't.
So let me ask though, do you have the same point of view for like my old coworkers for the women turning into men? Yes. Or is it just the men turning to women?
No, it's the same damn thing. It's whatever dysphoria you got in your brain that's telling you that you're not a man when you are a man. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't think we shouldn't have to cater to people's mental illnesses.
I'm gonna call you something gender, like something that's just you can call everybody. How you doing? What's good with you? Like I'm gonna avoid the shit. Period.
Yep.
Because and what I'm trying to be respectful, but at the end of the day, I did kind of want to address what 00 said, because if you talking to a woman or a man that says he's a woman and then you refuse to call him man or ma'am or whatever it's just like somebody coming up to me and saying a boy or the N-word. I still got to be professional. You can't choke me out because I called you a man and you a man and you know what I'm saying, because you want to, you know what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, you still got to be professional.
But another thing, Red Pill, how can you be respectful if you don't know? You know, if you don't know right off the bat, then how you gonna be respectful? They gonna take it personal.
Well, I think that's where the conflict comes from, because a lot of times they'll, like Pat said, they'll tell you, hey, no, I'm a sheep, but we're gonna say, well, okay, sir. Well, anyway, sir, I don't give a fuck what you're talking about, sir, because we see that you look like a sir, and that's the disrespect part that comes in. Which again, we all have freedom to say what you want,
but the thing about
that's gonna come with consequences.
Below, though, I wasn't being disrespectful though. That's the thing. It's the fact.
No, I'm not talking about you, Skeezy. I'm not talking about you. No, in your situation, in general, and yours is different because he didn't even correct you. That's what I think is weird, that he didn't even say nothing to you, and that's like you said, you're supposed to just know. No, I don't know.
And that's what I'm saying.
Motherfucker come to me and I say, hey, sir. And they say, hey, yeah, my name is Janet. Me and EK used to work together. This happened to me at the job when we worked at Aaron's. We worked at Aaron's together. A man with muscles, halter top, Hulk Hogan looking ass nigga with pigtails in his hair comes to it. Now he gives me his ID, and his ID says Michael, but in the notes on the screen it says he prefers Janet, right? But I didn't see that person. I said, hey, Michael, how you doing? Hey, he's like, don't you see the notes on the computer? I'm like, no. Well, I mean, you know what I mean? I'm just here to pay a bill. So it was a little back and forth to her. I said, I got my supervisor. I say, hey, man, come get this motherfucker, man. He got a problem. I don't know what his problem is, but I'm calling him sir because he look like a sir. Right. I don't know. I didn't sign up to play this goddamn game.
No.
And so if he would have reached over that chain and punched me in the face, that would have been my consequence for not respecting his wishes. Just like that, the Charlie Kirk thing. If people are saying that he got shot because of whatever he said, he has the freedom of speech to say whatever he said. But it could come with a bullet to the goddamn neck.
Yeah, but he didn't say anything that bad. Like every single clip I've ever seen of Charlie Kirk, even when he's talking about trans people, he literally just asks questions, and whoever he's talking to, they talk themselves into a corner.
I
So
think
it's
he
like
denounces it.
he's literally just showing them their shit. But
No,
I mean,
think
he's
he
also a
denounces it.
Christian.
I beg to differ on that.
I
though,
think he
'cause
denounces it.
I
Sly.
beg to differ though. He might have been softening up lately, but his content before was definitely disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Black women don't deserve the this and that, and you know he was definitely being very derogatory. I mean, like he probably softened up in the latter years and whatever, but no, his
He
content.
said a lot of stuff, but I'm just to keep it on what
Yeah.
we're talking about. He was saying things that they felt was hurting them. They were saying that your comments, because you're so popular and people are following you, you're such a polarizing figure that you're fucking it up for us.
So that leads us into it, though. That leads us into the trans violence, though. That leads directly into what we're trying to get to. No, and I think with these school shooters end up being trans that shoot up the churches and stuff like that, nobody is talking about the fact that they're literally unbalanced by definition. When you start fucking with your testosterone and your hormones, you are an unbalanced person. You cannot control your own thoughts, especially if you don't know what you're doing. That testosterone will make you fucking nuts. You will be a violent person.
It's like roid rage.
Literally, it's worse than roid rage, especially when you add hormones into the mix and you're a man on top of the testosterone. Yeah, you are batshit for at least a good month or two until you stabilize and figure your shit out.
Well, and I'm glad that you brought that up because that was one of the main topics. And this is one of the main reasons that I think I wanted to talk about this tonight, because it seems nowadays violence, at least in a portion of the country, has become not the last option, but the first option. People getting disrespected is one thing. I mean, if you want to come up and call me names in my face all day, I'm just going to stand there. Like, that's not a problem for me. It's not a physical threat. But when you get to the point where you think that someone says something to you, just something as simple as calling you sir when you think you're a man, and that is the reason that you took somebody's head off, like, where are we as a society if we're so soft that we can't even take an insult without walking away anymore?
No, I disagree on that. I think it's more than an insult. Again, it's utmost you're disrespecting me. I'm telling you, hey, I don't like this, and you're saying I don't give a fuck what you like. I'm doing it like this, which you have the right to do. But again, it could come with a consequence. That's all I'm saying. And I have noticed this. They get, and I hard to say call them they, but I don't. I mean, I don't know what to. I don't know.
Well, I mean that's the term you use right now.
Yeah, I don't know the proper term, but they get really upset, like really upset, more than just us. Like you said, somebody saying, "Hey, boy, this or that." Black people get upset too. Don't get us wrong. Black people trip off some bullshit too. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But they get really
reverse.
upset off of this. Hey, not respecting whatever they call, or I've had it happen to me too many times to where they go off the deep end, and I'm like, yo, I'm sorry, I didn't even know. I mean, sometimes it's like, hey, nigga, like I said, that story I told y'all. No, I stood on my shit because this is brand new. This is when it first started hitting. This is what year was it? What year was we up there? Like 2000 and what? 19 or some shit. Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like maybe 2019.
Yeah, so it's before all this tranny talk that's going on right now. It was new to me. But now that I understand what's going on, and again, the consequences, it's just easy to respect. I just don't understand why we can't respect it. If they ask it, what's the problem with that?
Well, this is the thing, but they bullying, bro. This ain't about. It's about control. Yeah. It's about a motherfucker making you want.
I agree.
You gonna do what I say you gonna do, or you gonna pay the consequences for 9% of the population. You didn't got a motherfucking holiday. You didn't got taken out the CDC in the 70s. What they said, it was a mental condition, and you didn't paid some lobbyists to switch this shit up. And now you about to come out here and fuck with the world so heavy where niggas is just you raised in a family. You got a mama, you got a daddy, you got sisters. 99% of your family is heterosexual, and then you come out into this world and motherfuckers that do have an inkling of whatever God dropped in them that made their brain a little bit different than everybody else. Now we finna cater to that.
Yeah,
like it's almost it's like you being a terrorist by being heterosexual.
Well, that's what I mentioned earlier about the compelled speech. It's like we don't need to get to a 1 second, Steve. I'll get to you. We don't need to get to a place where people are telling us what to say. This is the kind of thing that you'll find in like 1984 by Orwell, the news speak, where we get to a point where there's so many words and so many subjects that we're not allowed to talk. We just have no conversation, and that's what they want anyways. Is they don't want us to, you know, actually talk about these things. But that's why I wanted to talk about compelled speech. Is it even a thing? Like, should there be laws enacted to make sure you can't say something? Because wouldn't that generally break the First Amendment?
Anybody got
That's tough. That's
because
tough.
No, that's no how no
It's protected.
hate speech. It's protected speech, and then there's hate speech.
Yeah,
Now, I want to say it was. I want to say it was like an Ice Cube quote. He said, you know, you can say, you know, yeah, I fucked your sister, but you can't stop me from punching you in the face. You know what I mean? Like, there's actions and consequences. You can't hide from what you say. And if you're going to stand on business, you have to be ready for those consequences, whether we like them or not, whether they're forced social consequences or things that we all agree to. There's still consequences to that, and none of us want to be called out our name for sure. None of us want to be disrespected for our race or anything like that. And I don't see it. Well, I mean, I don't see it too. I didn't feel too taxed by it, especially when I had like the coworkers and shit. Like, you know, they corrected me the one time. I apologize. My bad. I don't fucking know. I'm ignorant. Whatever. And that's what I said. I'm fucking ignorant. I'm sorry. Tell me what the fuck you want. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, hold on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But at the same time, did they recognize and let you know right off the bat before you started talking to them? Because go ahead.
I was warned at first. Like, I knew I knew who like to expect or whatever, but like I didn't know who they were like for the person. And like we interacted the one time, and I said something like, I don't know. Usually I use like gender neutral shit, like Holmes, buddy, bro, whatever the fuck. Like I usually just use random shit anyways. But like I don't know. I said something different. Called them by their email name, and they're like, "No, I'm Rex," and I'm like, "Okay, Rex, my bad, bro." Like, you know. And that's what it was, that we were just simple misunderstanding and left it at that. And then from that point on, you know, they were cool. Like I had no problem with them.
That's the difference. See, if you don't know, then yeah, how could it be your fault? But if they told you, then yeah, that's different. Cause
if I would have kept calling them by their email name, like by their real names, yeah, they would have been it would have became a problem. Yeah. But you know, I didn't feel too taxed by it. You want me to call you Rex? Bet. I don't care. You know, whatever.
But like you said, you work in a Fortune 50, so what good does it do you to start shit in your office, even if you did have a problem? Like you might as well just keep shit peaceful.
And it's not my problem. If that's how you feel and you want to take testosterone and become a man, bet I'll treat you like a man. I don't give a fuck how you feel. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
It doesn't personally.
Let's get real with it.
I mean, he's right though. I mean, it's right. If you taking testosterone and you trying to be a man, shit, you gonna be in man territory. People's gonna treat you like a man.
It's a man's world, bro.
You might not like it, but that's the understanding of what a man goes through.
Right.
I mean, look at Elliot Page. Nobody gives a fuck about the dude after she went from Ellen Page to who she is now. And the motherfucker looks depressed. I was like, that's manhood. Welcome, baby. You are a man. You are depressed. Welcome. And nobody cares. Bet. Welcome.
But technically, she's still a woman. She's just butchered.
Doesn't matter. I don't care. She's depressed and nobody cares. She's a man now.
I'm just talking about reality.
Right. So is he. So is he. That is reality. Nobody cares about a man's depression.
So if he's
they don't. That's what I'm saying. Like you can't have it both ways. You can't be acting like a man, want to be a man, and then when you get treated like a man, because man gets stepped on a lot.
You jump back into that.
We do, man. We get stepped on. We carry a lot of burden. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying women don't either, but I'm saying like it's a little different. And so like when you have to go through things as a man, you can't be mad at that, you know what I'm saying? And then try to use that as an excuse too, like, oh well, no, this is what men go through, so you got to deal with it. You know.
But see, this is where you trying my manhood too, ma'am. And yes, you are, ma'am. And I know you got the ball fade and shit. But then when I walk by you and I don't help you, when I know you need help, you fucking with me because I want so bad to help you, but I still want you to feel that shit. So like now you're really playing the game in life, and it's just like when you pick that road, that's where you at. Stop bullshitting with me, because that people want to jump back into that bag once they get into, like, if you a man and you're gonna be a single father, take that shit. Don't put no woman on no child support. Be a man. Don't act like no fucking female. And when you a woman and you strong and you independent, pick that shit and do it on your fucking own. Don't go extorting niggas that don't fuck with you after they put their seed in you. And it's just like that with the LGB and the pronouns and the flags, man.
They
Y'all
want it both ways. They
They
Yeah,
want
it's a
want-
control aspect.
That's all
It's a
I'm saying.
control aspect. They're just trying, like, they're seeing how far they can go, what they can get past in law enforcement. Because, like Kirk said, or Sly said earlier, they represent less than 1% of the population. But it seems like with the media, if you were to watch the news and just to see what goes on with the, you'd think they were half the fucking population. The way that they
Bro.
treat them, the way that they promote them.
Rallies.
I mean, it's in every movie now. We see it on commercials. I mean,
But that's, again, you can thank USAID for that. They're the ones funding it. I mean, they don't fund it anymore, and you'll see less of it now. But it was still a fun 4-year period in American history where they tried to tell us all that we're gay.
Right. It's crazy.
that's crazy.
That is
Crazy. So I don't understand. I don't understand that. I get it's an agenda, but like everybody doesn't want that pushed onto them. You know,
Nah, man. The gay BCs. I told y'all when I
especially
seen
now.
that shit.
I mean, like even with Snoop Dogg, he had something to say about it too recently about when he went to go see Buzz Lightyear, and they kind of messed up Buzz Lightyear by showing that same type of mentality on a cartoon. It's like, damn, man, you can't go nowhere without seeing it sometimes.
And and Buzz Lightyear came out in that 4-year period during the Biden administration.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, what happened with Buzz Lightyear? What y'all talking
The
about?
main character was a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
Or the second lead character was a lesbian, and they have an on-screen kiss, and that was his son. He had explained it to his son or whatever. He didn't know what to say to him, and he caught a bunch of shit for it on Twitter or whatever, and then he ended up apologizing for it.
Hold on, man, that's some bullshit. Mac Mar, hey, can I send Mac Mar the link?
Yeah, send it to him. Send it to him.
I got. I'm about to send it now, Mac.
Mac Mar, come on, man.
I got you, brother.
Jump on in, man. But yeah, I just think, man, some things just shouldn't be touched. Like if you, like I get it. Like if you want to put it in commercials, you know, you want to put it in some music, you know, that's fine. But then when you start trying to get to the kids early, like, come on, man, like what are we doing?
I don't agree with that part.
They trying to develop them. They trying to develop them into thinking that way, and no, that ain't cool to me.
That's called population control, David Greenspan.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's population control. You're on the right track.
David Greenspan.
But you also notice that one of the things that a society that's crumbling and is on its very last breath does is they get obsessed with gender. It happened in Athens. It happened in Greece. It happened to the Romans. They near the end of their society, they got obsessed with gender and blurred lines between the two and like all the kind of sexual debauchery. And that's the end of a society when we start getting to that point.
Yeah, think about it. Think about it. The high class men in that era, they all used to dress up in wigs and put on makeup.
Facts.
Think about that.
Yeah.
They had man boy servants they used to butt fuck. I mean, come on. Like the Spartans were gay as fuck, bro.
Damn.
Was
it gay? Was they hold on and look, and this gonna sound hella weird. Was this a form of dominance? Because you know how
that's gay.
I think it's gay too. I'm just saying
that's like all these rappers that go to jail and get fuck each other in prison and then come out and act hard. It's like, bro, you're gay, bro. You butt fuck each other. I'm sorry. All these Diddy guys, all these Diddy rappers, you butt fucked your way to prison. You're butt fucked your way to success. You're gay. I'm sorry. You did.
You went to prison on purpose. You wanted to have sex.
Yeah.
Mac Mar, what up, boy?
What's good? What's good, family?
Chilling,
What's
man.
good?
I know
So
Mac's
on
gonna
top
come in
of all
here.
this, as we're talking, do you think that, because I hear, maybe not so much lately with all the goings on, but I hear a lot from the LGBTQ and all that there is a actual civil rights issue in this country for them. And my problem is when I look back at things that were labeled civil rights, I can't see a similar thing among them as far as what the trans people are going through now and what, say, black people went through in the 50s and 60s. Or if you remember, the Japanese were stuck in internment camps during World War II. They don't. So, I mean, do you guys see a civil rights conflict here?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't think it's gonna get that far just yet.
Well, they're saying they have a civil rights conflict. Do you guys see any reason why this would be, like, why they would think they're having civil rights issues? Because in my opinion,
If you're a protected class, how can you have civil rights issues?
Yeah, you're
Right.
privileged.
There is none.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
only get privileges. They get privileges on the job applications. They get privileges out in public. If you say something, if you call them miss and then they a mister, they can put a case and file a lawsuit and win some money because a motherfucker
Well,
made an honest mistake.
did you know that if you become trans, and this happened too. I've had two kinds of trans coworkers at this place. So there's the two women that turned to men, and then I've had one man that turned into a woman, right? So dude was weird as fuck already. And somebody had looked into it and saw him on the sex predator website, right? The local one. Now, I wasn't sure how you could work for our company and have that kind of background because the motherfucker had some charges, like predatory charges on like a child type deal, right? So what I found out was you can get away with doing a background check for your work and for your employment under your assumed name because that's your new identity now. So they don't know who you used to be because you're not him anymore. And now you're her.
You got Jason
And
Bourne.
you can
You
work.
still him, goddammit.
Oh shit!
You're
Y'all done
still
brought
him.
Mac
Yeah,
Ball
you're
on
still
this
him. But
motherfucker? I
Do
didn't
you
know
get
y'all
a
done
new
brought Mac Ball
social?
on here. What up, Mac?
What's the word, bro?
What
So
up,
if I
man?
just change my
Do
if
you
I
get a
change
new?
my name to Kurt or Evan, all my crimes go away. If I had those crimes.
if you do a background check, yeah, if you claim to be a new person, you change your name and you go do a background check at work, they're not going to run your old name. They're going to run your new name, and you're clear.
We saw
So I
that,
could just change my name and I could get me a conceal to carry.
Yeah,
bruh.
Yeah,
You
pretty
kill
much.
somebody. We saw
I want to
happen with
ask you,
Bruce.
Mac
We
Ball.
saw Bruce.
I mean, since you got on, man, we was talking about most of the stuff that they pushing the agenda on these movies, these commercials. Now we seeing that they putting on the cartoons now, man. You feel like they overdoing it?
I feel like they definitely overdoing it. Especially they pissed me off when they told me that Ernie and Bert went together. They fucked me up with
Oh
them.
man, oh my
Dude, you
God.
knew they were gay. They were clearly gay as fuck, man.
Man,
Come
people
on.
wasn't gay.
Wait
People
a
wasn't
minute.
gay when I was little. We didn't look at like shit was
Right,
gay.
that's what I'm saying. What the
Like it was like two gay people in the whole city when I was little.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie.
no.
Right, exactly. They got me looking at Mr. Rogers funny and shit.
No, don't bring Mr. Rogers into it. Come on.
Nah,
Anytime a motherfucker beg you to be their neighbor, something's up. Goddamn it.
Hey, Mr. Rogers talked about the good
Man, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like you taking something that's so innocent, Bert and Ernie, and now all of a sudden, now years later, y'all want to say that they was a couple. Man, like
But we knew though.
Wait a minute. You trying to say gay people can't
I
be
didn't know that.
Are you
I
trying to
thought
say
they
gay
know
were
it
just
either,
cartoons.
man. I didn't know it either, man. That's crazy.
But do I think they to answer your question? I think they are. I think they are pushing it too much to the kids. But what I think is because I always see things from both sides. What I think is they're trying to put it into kids' life early so they can learn to accept it by the time they get a certain age. But what they're doing is they're ruining kids by doing that type of shit.
Yeah.
Because we got our ass whooped for playing with girl toys. You know what I'm saying? Like you grab a Barbie daddy, like, man, what the fuck, nigga? You don't play with no Barbie dolls. You better get you a tool set. He got me a rubber water gun or some shit. You feel me? Like we couldn't play with no girl toys and shit like that. So it was like back then it was okay. And even then, it was okay to discipline your kids. You can't do that now.
You
You know
No, you
what I'm
can't.
saying? Like we got Beach Street. Fuck Scared. See, now they got Scared Street. We got Beach Street. You feel what I'm saying? Like I still got marks on my ass from when I was 10 for doing shit I wasn't supposed to be doing. And that kept a nigga ass in line. Cause like, when you think about doing some dumb shit, you think about that ass whooping if you get caught. So it straighten your ass up. But now you hit your kids, you going to jail. Like it's crazy because they make it where you can't discipline your kids, but then it's your fault if they fail in life. I don't get that shit.
Crazy.
But that's the point. The point is to perpetuate that. And society is being built and has been built over the last 40, 50 years to keep us in this society, in this man, I fucked up my words. I forgot where I was going with it. But basically, yeah, to keep us doing it like this.
But Sly Fox, is this engineered? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. All of it's
I,
engineered. You can look through it and I'll put it like this. So Switzerland has the highest rate of successful trans people that don't detransition. They're happy with who they are once they transition, and a lot of trans people cite that fact, right? Now, what they don't cite is the fact that if you become trans or you think you're going to be in Switzerland and shit, they require you to go through counseling before you can do these surgeries, before you can make permanent changes to your body. You go through counseling because
you should.
most of these people have repressed sexual trauma. They were abused at a young age, or stuff like that. Like that's most of the case, and most of the time when they go through their counseling, 80% of these guys go back to being normal because they figured out what the problem with them in the first place.
That's
But
crazy.
can I into trauma part when it comes to being a homosexual or jumping over the fence? Because I got real kid trauma from getting beat with bats, stitching cords, switches. My people from Mississippi, so I got old school ass whoopings.
Well, I'm not talking about being.
Them ass whoopings pushed me to pussy. I went to go lay up under a bitch because I was
But
sore.
I think what Pat trying to, excuse me, I'm just saying, I think what Pat trying to say is the traumatic experience, because a lot of boys, a lot of girls that they get touched by aunties, cousins, babysitters, your grandma, your
Uncles,
uncle, and stuff like that.
Yep.
So if you don't speak on it, if you don't say nothing about it, you know what I'm saying? And then if a child is getting touched before puberty, or before they understand sexuality, they're in their room, they're by themselves, they're thinking about it, they're thinking about how it made them feel, the uncomfortable part about it, even though it might be the good part about it. You know what I'm saying? So that opens that window for them before it's time. So they
Like
hold
I
that
had
stuff in.
one of
I
my
get what you saying, and that
You know,
shit. Like I got a 5-year-old daughter, right? And I swear to God, like y'all don't eat me up for saying this. I know it might sound weird as hell, but my daughter, I don't even wipe my daughter. I don't even want to touch her down there. I let her mama do that shit. She'll go home with her pissy panties on before I touch my daughter and wipe her private parts. I don't touch her at all, and that's my daughter. It's just that's my baby, and I don't want no nigga touching her. Not even me.
I'll
You
give
know
you
what
that.
I'm
That's not
saying?
weird. That's not the
So
first time I've heard that. That's not weird.
no,
No,
because I like we had this conversation before, and they like, nigga, that's your baby, but still, that's my
No,
princess.
it's not weird.
Like
I've
to
heard
her,
people like that
that's
before.
not.
like I
We couldn't sit on my daddy
want
lap.
her to be clean as a brand new sheet that come out the motherfucking pack. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
When
I
I
want
grew
my
up,
daughter sacred.
when I grew up, my mother didn't allow me and my sister to sit on my daddy lap. And my daddy, that's my nigga, But my mama didn't play that shit because of the era that she grew up in. Like, and my daddy used to like say stuff to her, but he respected it. You know what I mean? And we would sit on the side of him, but we couldn't sit on my daddy lap growing up as a kid. We couldn't sit on nobody's lap, not even our fathers. You know what I'm saying? So my mama didn't play that shit. Like that, yeah, like it was just a thing. You know what I
Well,
mean?
it's about boundaries too. It's about preventing that from happening because your mom probably had something similar happen to her. So she's like, nope, we're not doing this a second time around. And
And she did,
when it comes
and
down
she
to your
did,
kids, you don't play.
and she
yeah, you
did,
learn.
and
So
she
I don't
did.
Bobby
even kiss
Johnson,
my I don't even kiss my daughter in the mouth, bro. I let her kiss me on the jaw.
yep,
I don't do
exactly.
none of that shit.
Yep.
Right.
Well, I think it's okay to
Bobby
do it.
Johnson, I want to hear from you, man. I want to hear from you.
Yep.
How do
Yeah.
you feel about this situation?
Um, there's a few things I'd like to talk about. So, I think there's two types of transsexual, and I was watching something on TikTok the other day. So, there's the the person that always felt like they were supposed to be somebody else, so that's why they wanted, get the procedure done because they've always felt like the opposite person. Now, more recently, I guess there's something called, I don't know if anybody's heard this term. It's called a griper or groper,
A groper.
griper. And from
Yeah,
what I learned, it's basically a white nationalist that resents the fact of blacks getting any type of, like, if the DEI or anything like that. They also resent women and feminists, so they want to change themselves into a woman, whether they're buff or whatever, just so that
right.
way they can fight and get away with certain things.
Right.
So they want to fight the feminists and they want to fight minorities too.
Yeah. So on that point, the Groypers, I think I'm going to let myself pass it down to Kirk because I know he's got some good information on the Groypers.
On the grapes.
So yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of that is literally just internet talk. So much of that is just people posting on boards and people taking it for face value. And
It's like a
I
Reddit
can almost guarantee you that no self-respecting white nationalist is going to become trans just to troll black people. All right, like I can guarantee you that's not a factor.
No, it's ridiculous. So I wanted to bring it back to our.
What I understand, like the real hard white nationalists, they don't give a shit about whether somebody's trans or not, as long as their belief fits their ideology.
Yeah, then they're not real white nationalists. That's the kind of my point.
I think stupid shit should have their own wave. If you want to be a trainee or a stud or whatever, they should have their own cable channel, their own YouTube channel, their own shopping malls. Like I don't have nothing against them. I just got more or less something against these flamboyant, loudmouth, ignorant ass fucking sissies. I don't like this shit. Like
peacocking.
You can be who you want to be. I'm not homophobic at all, but the antics and all that extra shit, that shit irks my fucking blood. Because it's like, bro, you just now you too happy to be gay, bro. You ain't got to throw that shit in our face. We don't want to see that shit. Like we respect you as a person. I respect you as a human being, but I don't want to see all that like bigger. Man, when I went to Atlanta, I'm 6'2", 280 pounds, bro. It was niggas bigger than me with fishnet outfits on. Come on, bro.
Holding
Like
hands.
bro, come on, bro. We don't even like real bitches that size. Like, come on, bro. You doing too motherfucking much, bro.
You got to be careful with that, Mac, though, because I'm gonna tell you why. Somebody said earlier because of it's mentally stable as of right now. It's labeled as mentally mental illness. But at one point, remember they called black people. We wasn't even a whole human being at one point, right? So when the white people start saying, "Well, we don't like these type of black people. We like these type of black people, but these black people gotta go because I don't like the way they act. And these motherfuckers is doing this and doing it could go down that route."
But
right,
see,
I mean, we was only 3/5 of human to them motherfuckers because they didn't like us. We more human than any motherfucker on the planet.
Right. And the thing is they didn't like us because they just had a personal bias. It wasn't nothing we was doing wrong. We wasn't out here
you got slaves and you come outside, you see this big old black nigga with muscles with this big ass thing hanging out his drawers, and you got this little bitty ass, and you would be mad too. when your daughter and Aunt Betty and them looking at this big old cockswole black ass nigga, he dark and sweating and shit because he working in the sun and shit. That's turning anime ass on, goddamn.
Right. You didn't raise your enemy, goddamn it. You didn't put him.
Hell yeah. Why the fuck anything with color looks good? Why you think they spray paint bodybuilders when they be on the motherfucking stage doing this shit? They spray paint their bodies dark because you look better darker.
Hey,
It is what it is.
Hey,
yes, that's true.
I think I look okay, you know.
Put the lighters up, goddamn.
Evan, you got a beard. You all right. You winning, man. Don't worry about it.
I'm doing my best.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it was all out of jealousy and just to strip us of our confidence as people. You know what I'm saying? But the pronouns and shit. See, the thing about it is, this is what I don't like, right? And this is one thing I can commend studs on. Studs are not trying to replace niggas. They trying to be like us.
Yeah,
these fucking trannies are trying to replace women, and they disrespectful as fuck. And if I was a woman, I would feel so disrespected by these fucking big ass men trying to tell them that it don't take nothing to be a woman but to put on a wig.
They call us cis women, and I hate that shit. I'm not a cis woman. I'm a woman. I'm not shit just about me. I'm a woman. You know what I mean? And I don't like that either because it's like I'm with him though. Like the studs just want to be a man. They not trying to take over the men. They just want to dress like y'all, the draws, you know, the lingo, shit like that. But the trans men, they really be, you know, embodying like woman and be like, no, you just a cis. No, bitch, I'm the woman. I'm the natural. I'm the first.
Real. Yeah.
You know
When
what
you
I mean?
have
I'm
to
the
add
real Dundada.
The
when you have to
trans
add a
is the
prefix,
wig, and you guys are the natural. Sorry, go ahead. My bad, Pat.
but yeah, when you have to add a prefix to man or woman, your argument kind of falls apart.
What you mean?
Facts.
Say that
What I
again.
mean is when you add a prefix to something like man or woman, like it's just those words aren't supposed to be those are given words. They don't need anything else to them. So when you add a prefix like cis,
Sis,
something
got
you
you.
made up, you're now a cis man. Like, nope, I'm not a cis man. I'm a man, period. Like you're making up words now to kind of set your little mentals up about how you feel personally about men, women, dogs, tigers, furries. Like that's the other thing too, is they talk about, you know, trans is on a spectrum because they don't even know how many fucking genders they have. So how am I supposed to know, even if you're set up a certain way, if I call you the right gender or not? Because it may change tomorrow.
Right. Right. I'm a third generation cis man lesbian dude, and I'll beat
Right.
your ass
Like,
if you fuck it up.
Man, I call
What the
motherfuckers what
fuck?
they is. If I see a big
What the
ass
fuck?
trans, I'm gonna be like, "What up, bro?
Yeah.
You ain't no
yeah,
motherfucking
exactly.
sister. Me, you a big ass confused nigga."
But
Yep.
Mac, when you in a professional space, are you gonna have that same energy?
No, I wouldn't.
So here's the thing.
Do you like your job?
It depends.
Right.
It depends on my status in the situation. If I'm trying to gain, I'm gonna play the game to get what I need.
Right.
Okay. If I'm the boss and I run shit, no, y'all not bringing that goof ass shit in here. I don't give a fuck if you qualified or not. No, I don't want that shit around me
But they can
because
sue you
like,
for that, for being
be,
discriminatory. That's the point
yeah,
we're trying
well,
to make.
I'll give them a custodial job where I never see them motherfuckers. Because look,
And then the
here's
more
the
the
thing, right? I done owned a few barbershop beauty shops, right? And see, I never been a homophobic dude. And so I know hands-on how it is dealing with these motherfuckers because they used to work for me. I'd have had transgender men working in my shop. I'd have had gay men working in my shop. I'd have had gay women working in my shop. So I'm familiar with how they act. This is the problem, right? When you're a person like me who don't judge people for what they do outside of their work field, what happens is the gay community, they like to be around niggas like me. They like to be around real niggas to feel accepted by real people, right?
Right.
What happens is this: they get too fucking comfortable and then they start doing little slick shit, and
Yep.
then you might wind up having to beat one of their ass because they took it too far when they don't realize I'm just treating you like everybody else.
Right.
But
that's a hate
you,
crime.
just because you're a homosexual man, instead of you looking at me like everybody else, like I'm the boss of the shop, you looking at me like, damn, Molly is kind of handsome. These are the thoughts that go through their head. And every day they kick it with you, they feel a little bit more
More
confident and
comfortable.
confident to
Yeah.
do some dumb
Why
shit.
you being so nice to me, Mac? Why you being
Right.
Right.
so nice?
You feel all that kind of shit. So I done went down this road before, and one of the motherfuckers that worked in my shop came at me. And I almost killed this nigga. I almost threw my motherfucking future away because it pissed me off more than usual. If you a nigga in the streets and you come at me, you don't know me. So I'm gonna check you, but it's a certain level I'm gonna check you. If
Right.
you be around me every fucking day and you know what type of nigga I am, and you still pull that shit, nigga, you finna die. You got me fucked up. I
Right.
don't know what's wrong with you. You way crazier than the fuck I thought you was. Because you see me every motherfucking day. You know me. Why
Right.
would you think it's okay to do
To do.
some
Yeah.
dumb shit like that?
Yeah.
You feel
Don't.
me? So that shit went left and I wind up putting everybody out my shit and closed the motherfucking shop down. And that was the
Damn.
last time I decided to be in business with the we are the people attitude.
Right.
I ain't dealing with that shit no more, bro. I tried. They do too motherfucking much, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
I'll agree with you. Like I had two gay roommates at one point. They were boyfriend, and yeah, dude, they will try and test you. If you spend enough time with these motherfuckers, they will start poking and prodding in ways they shouldn't be. And yeah, it can be fucking irritating. I'll give you that, absolutely. Especially when they get comfortable with you and like start pushing your buttons and saying offhanded shit. Yeah, it can be testing.
I
Hey,
thought you
BIPOC,
told me. I
could you
thought.
define pushing your buttons?
Just think of this,
Could you
right?
define pushing your buttons for us?
Yeah, I thought
Pushing
Can I
your buttons
define
will be pushing the button. This is what I seen, right? Now I cut hair, so I work in the shop too. You know, I got my niggas down here on this side. I put the gay people in the front of the shop. I had a nice size shop. Mirrors on both sides. I'm a Virgo. I'm very fucking observant. I watch everything around me, right? So as I'm working, I look up and I peep motherfuckers. They not looking directly at me. They looking off the mirror, off this mirror. They winging it off mirrors, watching me and shit. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm noticing this shit. I'm like, I'm looking up and I'm like, I know this mother. I'm having mental battles with myself because I'm like, I'm finna fuck this nigga up, bro. This nigga tripping, right? So, and this was at the time before I went to therapy. So I was a loudmouth, ignorant motherfucker, and I just say what the fuck I want to say. I don't care about nobody's feelings. I was in that time. So instead of me pulling them to the side and put them in his place, I blurt in front of everybody. Man, what the fuck is you steady staring at me for, bro? Like, you gotta nip that shit in the bud, because if you don't, they gonna think it's okay. When you see a sign of them tracker, they gonna try you. If you try to be cool with them, they gonna try you. They
Yeah,
just not gonna be blatant on some can we do this? They not gonna do that type of shit. What they gonna start doing is, Ma, you got some weed? Roll up, Ma, let's smoke.
That
That
shit.
kind of shit. You
That
see what I'm
shit.
saying? The indirect shit. Man, Ma, you leaving early, y'all. Let's kick it. Let's have a drink. And what they'll do is this, because what they was doing for me was they was putting me on the hose so they can be around with them. And I didn't peek this shit.
No,
You see what I'm saying?
they wanted to get the scoop from the hoes. After
Hey,
you already know what they want.
they trying to
hey,
get that
But they
pillow
move
talk.
sneaky as fuck. You see what I'm
Get
saying?
hey,
that
So they'll
pillow
come
talk.
around with a bitch they know I want to fuck just so they can be around me with this bitch. You see
hey,
what I'm saying? And I
I
ain't
had the
peeping.
same shit.
I'm thinking he cool because he putting me on with the hoes, and whole time this is for his personal enjoyment.
Just
You see
play,
Hey,
what I'm saying?
hey,
Yeah, go
listen.
ahead.
Hey, listen. I told this story to NOOZ too, because this one dude, we was working. This was the time we was working at Aaron's. This dude came up to me, was like, "Man, you like hoes?" I'm like, "Do I like hoes?" I said, What you talking about, man?" I said, "What's going on, man?" He was like, "Man, I just like to kick it and drink and look." And he started showing me pictures of different women and stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, I mean, why are you showing me this, man? What's going on, man? Oh man, I just want to kick it with you, man. I was like, no, that don't sound
Right.
no, for
take
what? What you wanna kick it with me for, man? So we could it
So
didn't make sense, man. It definitely didn't make sense.
I do want to bring it back to the topic we were supposed to be talking about, but that tangent actually brought up a lot of good points. So
Now go ahead, Pat. We own it.
Yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's just a mental illness, dude. I mean, all the gay going, the transit. What? I gotta wait for them to stop fucking laughing.
Hey, so every man on this panel is a heterosexual man, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Just
Think
think of
so.
this. What in the world would possess you
I'm
to want to
sorry.
chop your motherfucking manhood off? If you don't think that's a mental illness, something is
Right.
wrong.
Which is
That
why
is
it
a
used to
mental
be.
illness.
Well,
If
which is
I
why.
have an accident and my shit get accidentally cut off, kill me, man. I don't want to live no more. What type of man shows up without a dick?
kill
Right.
me.
You
Out here
Kill
can't.
looking
me,
out here
bro.
looking like an action figure.
No, bro, kill me, bro. I done fucked this life up. I'm gonna start over. Try another one.
Type shit.
I mean, they can get you
Straight up,
prosthetics.
bro.
We can get you a prosthetic or something like that. You can feel
No,
better.
hell
Doctor
no.
said.
Hell
You
no.
take the clothes off of Barbie and Ken, they ain't got no privacy. You gonna come in the room looking like an action figure like that.
Like a Ken doll.
Fucking
Man,
Ken doll.
facts, bro. Like,
You can
that's
only
got to
eat.
be a mental illness, man, because like I just don't understand it.
I've
I
heard
don't
a lot
try
of
to
people say.
understand
I've
it.
heard a lot of people
I
say that
just
they
don't.
just feel like they grew up more. They have more feminine energy, or some have more masculine energy, and that's what kind of makes them want to. But again, going all the way out with that is a whole nother level. I'm with you.
So I'll put it
Facts.
I'll put it out there like this. So everybody knows how Alex Jones talks about they're putting chemicals in the water to turn the frogs gay. Yeah, that's a fact, man. They're in places with a lot more fluoride. You see a lot more trans people, just like you see the IQ drop in places with a lot more fluoride in the water. It's a
Don't
it's
drink
a
the tap
known
water.
fact. These things are these. Don't drink tap water. Thank you. I was just gonna say that. Don't drink the fucking tap water in LA. Don't drink it anywhere near a major city.
Shit,
Don't drink
I
the fucking
heard
tap
that.
Well,
water.
listen, you can't
I
listen,
heard
but
it's
you can't even
estrogen in
drink bottled
weed.
water either, though. You just got to be a
I
certain
mean, that
bottled water
depends,
that you
Matt.
can drink
I don't
too
know.
now.
Like the dispensaries, they're supposed to not have that at all. It's supposed to be they have like chemical compounds that they look for. I would hope that if you went up to Michigan and got something out of a dispensary, you wouldn't have estrogen in your fucking pot. Like
Nobody's
I would
putting
hope.
estrogen in the pot, bro. I can
That's
guarantee that.
I haven't done no research, but they told me that this what does they call this shit? Hybrid. This hybrid weed increases the
No,
estrogen.
that is not a real thing, bud. Sorry.
No.
They got trans weed. They
Like
got
I said,
trans
bro,
That
I
weed.
is
haven't
not
done
a
no
real thing,
research on
man.
it. It's just something,
No,
I work in the shop, so you know how the shop be. All types of shit come up in just
Yeah,
different
no,
discussions.
I
You
literally
feel me?
like work with a farmer, man. Like, trust me, that's not a real thing.
What if
but
they?
I
Well, hold
Okay.
think
on,
what it
hold on. What
seems,
if they spraying it after that? All right, I don't want to get too far off base. My bad. Go ahead.
but
But yeah, no.
yeah, I think like tonight, I think everybody's on the same page. Mental illness, and I just wanted to make sure that if you think like I wanted to come back to that compelled speech. If somebody tells you it doesn't matter what it is that you have to say something or you can't say something because it goes both ways, First Amendment. That's what I wanted to get at. Is it wrong? And it doesn't seem like anybody takes it as wrong if you say what you mean to say, and that's the consequence.
Hell no. We needed one offset person. We needed one person that agreed with this fuck. I should have went to TikTok and got one of them biscuit head ass bitches that try to make excuses for everything. I know I could have got one. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get an
Yeah.
offset person because I know this panel, so I know it ain't gonna be too much sucker shit on here.
No,
I mean, and then I don't mean like y'all do have sucker shit, but I'm just saying like shit like this. It's gonna be hard to find, like to justify the pronoun shit.
but it had to be discussed.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
are the pronouns?
Oh, the pronouns are
Him, her,
basically
Hers,
they, them.
they, them.
yeah. So if you call a
Okay,
man a man,
what would we be considered them?
they and them, we don't understand that. The they,
Them
them,
would
they,
be
them.
those who identify other than their binary association with their sex. That's what then when you're using it in the
Right.
plural, it would be
But
them. Them meaning those who fall under the umbrella, not identifying with their sex that they were given at birth.
They're not
right, but if
male
you
or
use that,
female.
No, I'm
they're
saying
confused.
Or both.
yeah. So I'm saying basically when you're just say how we're talking right now, instead of saying they, we would say them. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's more than one. You know what I mean? So we wouldn't say they because to them they is derogatory or whatever. So it would be them. I had to
Use
take
that
8 hours of
distinct.
this class, y'all. 8 hours of pronouns and proper dialogue
Language
and
You
arts.
missed her story earlier, Max. She said she had a job where she said they
no, I'm
came up
still
to
at
her
this
job.
job. I'm still at this job.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, she was at the job. They came up to her job. Didn't even tell her that she was one of the, that she wanted to be known as whatever they wanted to be known as, and then made a complaint later about it. And then she had to take a whole 10-hour class on it because of the complaint. And the motherfucker didn't even let her know. Didn't even
Why are
fight
we
about it.
using they? They is a plural.
Because
Well, I
they're
mean, I
more
don't
than
know.
just
I
one
don't know their
person.
name or them. I
So
don't
you're
know
trying to
about
say
them.
like
I just don't want to be
Legion style,
disrespectful
like
because I
we
don't
are
want to get
Legion.
shot in the chest while I'm talking to college kids at Utah.
That's where that comes from, though. When they say they them, it's because they feel that they're more than one person.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
no
so they're
thank you.
definitely
Yeah,
fucking
they
dangerous.
is, and they motherfucking mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and
They're dangerous.
that's where it comes down to the fact that yes, it can be a mental disorder for most of these people, but I will secede the fact that there are quite a few of them that are actually, they are actually trans people. They are actually dysphoric, and that is a real genuine thing. Now, where we get to where everybody thinks they're this way is because they've been conditioned, they've got repressed trauma. They're taking SSRIs, which is a big factor as well. So they're very susceptible to implanted ideas.
What is that?
And it's like antipsychotics, not antidepressants and stuff like that.
But you
So
just
they
said
got to
that
take that shit to keep from going crazy, huh?
Yes,
They're
sir.
already nuts. Most of these people have
Yeah.
already spent time in mental facilities, whether it be voluntary or involuntary. So when you take that into effect, that they already have underlying trauma and underlying mental issues, the next thing is becoming trans because they are already alone. They're looking to fit in. They find a community online. Now you could say the same thing with about incels. Some of these guys are just lonely motherfuckers. They're virgins. They're consumed by porn. During COVID, they spent 2 years in their apartment jerking off, and now they're trans. Like it happens. These
Shit, I
people,
did
it
too, and I
happens,
didn't
man.
turn into no trans.
I'm about to say that
Shit.
Well,
sounds like me. How you describe
But
me,
Mac, but Mac, but you got pussy before the thing. I got more pussy in COVID than when the doors was open, nigga. I
But
ain't
you,
bullshit.
Damn.
but you
Oh,
know
you was
what
out
though?
here getting it in.
You know what though?
Oh shit, count 10 in this bitch.
I'm kind of glad that that people are able to be what they want to be and express themselves the way they is. And the reason why I say that is because now we have a clear number of how many mental ill motherfuckers that really live amongst us.
Yep.
Because if they wasn't able to do that, these would be crazy ass people hiding amongst society,
Yeah,
waiting to bust because they can't be themselves.
right.
I
So
think we need to bring back.
I'm glad. So we have a almost
Outlet.
accurate number of how many real life insane motherfuckers it is. Like for
Yeah,
real.
I'm good with that. It's like a poison dart frog being bright colored. The toxicity tells you where it is. So you look for the bright colors, you're gonna find them.
Anybody
So
with
what?
purple hair, be careful.
What's the state of bringing back mental asylums?
Let me ask a question real quick. I'm gonna ask shout out to Cal coming in too, man. What up,
Oh
baby?
yes. What's up,
I
Cal?
want
What's
to
good?
ask you
What's
this,
good?
Cal. Everybody on here got, you see everybody's name on here. Everybody got a nickname on here, right? And so if I call y'all by y'all government name and y'all say, hey man, stop calling me that, man. You see my name on the bottom of the screen. Stop calling me by my government name.
Well,
Am I being disrespectful at that point, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe so
Unless
because you got on here as a you got in there as your what I'm saying, your entertainment name, your alias and shit. And what I'm saying, you got on there to be, what I'm saying, because like whatever content or whatever that you push or whatever, what I'm saying, whatever that you do, you go by that name and stuff. And for someone to do it, I think maybe like the first time, maybe you know the person and if you know the person personally and you call them by their name, is what I'm saying, people can get that mixed up. But I say after a while, if you keep on doing it, that's where a point is starting to become a little bit disrespectful. You trying me if you keep on doing that.
Yeah.
right.
So
yep.
I don't look at it like that, man, because I have a lot of people on my live that grew up with me and they call me my real fucking name all the time while we on lives. But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't really give a shit what you call me, honestly. Just don't disrespect me.
But
Like,
if you asking them
right.
not to, but if you
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
them not to do something and they're saying, hey, I don't want to do what you're asking me to do. That's where they're coming. That's where them are coming from. They're like, hey, we want to be known as this or that, but y'all are ignoring our wishes on that, and we
When
get
you talking
upset by
about,
that. And we
are you
get
talking
upset.
about,
Uh-huh.
are you talking about like the gender? When you talking about like gender, they and them?
Yes.
Well,
Yep.
let me say this because like I've seen it a lot over the years since it's been a thing that's starting to become the norm. I think that like those people that had that mindset when they step in the rooms, it's like on so many occasions I've seen where people are trying to be like polite and what I'm saying, respectful. So like if they see that person coming in and look like a woman, they be like, ma'am, can I help you out? Sir, can I help you out? And then instantly that person gets offended.
Yep.
And like, what I'm saying, and it's like how you gonna get offended with someone when they don't know? You know what I'm saying? And I think that it snowballs into some other shit, and people and those particular people get mad at for no reason. And another point, I think another cause for them to also be angry about that is
I think you got cut off a little
since
bit.
they're
There we
looking
go.
for somebody to try them so they can like they want to be woke and try to correct people and paint people in a different light when really at the time they just trying to be respectful and address you like with manners and shit. I see it so many times, especially
They get
Yeah.
really,
especially
they
where
get
I
really
work.
And
What's
like
up?
Kurt was saying, oh, go ahead. I was going to say, like Kurt was saying earlier, it's It is mental dysphoria. The diagnostic manual for mental.
See, you just did it. You just disrespected me by calling me my government name instead of my screen name.
See, that's the
You're
problem. I
supposed
don't
to
know
call
you.
Point proven. That's the second time you did it. Point proven, right there,
You know,
real time.
You can sue me later, bro.
Get his ass, Sly.
But like you said, it was dysphoria. So these people are already mentally, like we said, mentally off. They're off kilter. They're already chemically kind of screwed up. So of course, you know, when they come into these rooms and things like that, they are looking to start shit because they don't even know what's going on with themselves.
Can I say something else? I really, in some cases, I feel like the people don't have a mental disorder. It's them trying to find their identity and find themselves. I think they trying to find themselves and feel where, you know, find out where they fit in. A lot of times that some of these, you listen to some of these people and you listen to them talk, and sometimes they're very confused with what they're doing at that moment too. It's really all right.
What's so funny? What's so funny? What's
The
so
pictures,
funny,
man.
What's
The
so
side
funny?
by side pictures.
You damn picture.
That's the same person.
Yeah.
Hey,
The whole ass tree.
but it's like this thing has become like a normal thing. I think the people really trying to find an identity, trying to find themselves, and this is what these people. That's what they start to do. They start to do things like this. They start to like dress different. You know what I'm saying? And
Why you
I
gotta
think what
do
it
it
is,
on the World Watch though?
Yeah,
but
where's all the aggression? Why can't you just say, you know, walk away, walk away?
they confused. They confused with themselves. If you listen to them talk, not only with the gender identity, really confused overall. There's a lot of things that they are very confused with. They're trying to fit in. They're trying to find themselves. And you look at these people in their friend groups. How many friends do they got? If they got a large friend group, and I see that's where a lot of it stems from. It is, and then from the trauma that they had from when they was growing up. You know what I'm saying? It was just like how they was treated would start to make them think that way. And you listen to these people, they're very sharp, but they're very confused with their own identity. And really what they're doing is going out the way to try to fit in and try to look for friendship and companionship.
Let's transfer it over to Ski real quick. I got something to say.
Okay, y'all. So let's quit acting like this new LGBTQ stuff is something new, okay? Because you guys remember New York and Boston and Jersey back in the early 50s and 60s and all that and that wave, okay? So let's not act like this is new. Now there's new words. Hold on, there's new words, right? And you know all that. So I think now, because those people back in those days were the politicians, they were the judges, they were the doctors, they were the professionals, they were the ones who could not have that leaked out. So now they're got their friends in politics, they're writing legislation, they have people that's lobbying, they have connections, they have everything they want as well. Again, I'm going to say population control as well, because they do not want us to continue to have children, because they feel like there's not enough room for us. That's a whole other story. But I think now they're pushing it so hard on everybody because now they're tired of being, I guess would say, in the closet, and they want to come out now. And I feel like they just saying like, hey, we've been, behind in the nightlife or behind the scenes for so long, and I think it was really for the professionals and for the elite people to come out and be okay, without being, canceled or without being, stuff like that. I think that's why they've been pushing it so hard, because really the people that are, are a lot of, homosexuals are, those, that's our congressmen, our senators, our mayors, our whoever, you know what I'm saying? And so it was all about image and the Christian life and your Catholic life and, stuff like that. So they repressed a lot of that stuff. So now they got to an age and a period, and that person that could write that, who was willing to write those type of legislation and say those type of things outside of the closed door. So I think they're just, saying, hey, look, ha, we out here now, and y'all can't do nothing. Y'all either gonna rock with us or gonna get sued, basically.
But
Yeah, that's what they did.
At the same time, I would say like that could have been. I could say that statement could be accurate for some, but like a lot of them still go out their way to hide that that desire for the same sex, because they still put out that I'm a strong Christian, devout Christian. They still suppress all that stuff. I mean,
but I think those who do that just aren't comfortable with themselves yet, because the ones who was coming out, who's, you know, for me, for the most part, you know, because in any genre, anything's gonna have those stragglers, those on the fence people, those, you know, pushed in it because, you know, societal or propaganda or whatever. So you're gonna have that percentage of people doing that. But overall, you know, these people are proud, you know, they're excited about it. They got married in 2012, you know, you know what I'm saying? So
We got
again,
somebody in the comments real
I
quick.
was
What's the name,
I was going to go to the comment real quick.
go ahead.
You got this girl, Amber Moore. Nah, for some people, I think it's just a fetish for them. They're not really trans.
Yes.
They feel good in girl clothes. Yes. And I mean, we can go back to like movies like Silence of the Lambs with Buffalo Bill. I mean, that's the kind of thing that I look at sometimes is, are you just doing this just to get attention? Are you just, like Kirk was saying earlier, they go find these groups on Reddit.
Strike three.
Yeah, Strike is a good example.
And I think people, they just want attention. Some of them.
I
Well,
agree with
yeah,
that.
and that
I
would
would
make
say
sense.
most.
Yeah,
I would
most
agree
of
with
them,
that too,
and I would
though.
say that would make sense why they get mad so much, because what gets the most attention on Facebook, YouTube, or any of these little shorts about people getting in fights and yelling matches and things like that. So if they
Right.
can generate that kind of bullshit in their environment, yeah, they can get the attention that they want.
Hey Pat, you know what? I just think we just figured some shit out real quick. We should have attention rehab. Put your fucking phone down and see who you is.
TikTok is banned.
Nah, bro. Like, you can't post shit. You can't. You got to go out in regular clothes, no makeup, nigga, no lineup, and go out and see who you really are from
And
the core.
Hey, you know
do
what
simple
though?
things
I
sometimes. Like
think
me. Go ahead, Matt.
what I was gonna say is I think that I just came across this thought in my head when we was talking about the LGBTQ community, right? I think that us as black people should feel real fucking stupid, right? Because how we gonna let a community that just formed get their shit together, come together, and do better than us as black people,
But did you hear what
right?
I said though, Mac? I said they had the politicians and the lawyers already ready
What?
to do it. That's what I'm saying.
No,
They've
no, no,
been doing
no,
this. They've been
no.
having this. You
They
know,
didn't.
go look at research when it comes to the laws on the East Coast. Like, they already had those governors, those
Right.
mayors
This
that was
is
in secret closets that was
no.
already
They
ready to
didn't.
work.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, right? They as homosexual men and gay women, they all went to school, got their shit together, and became important people and stuck together and came together to change these laws. That's what I'm saying. This is what black people should be doing as a whole. You see what happened when you stick together? You see what I'm
Hey,
saying? And
that's
and
why
and,
they
and it's crazy. Even Barack Obama, he got right in office. First thing he did was something for the
But
Chinese and something for the homosexual people.
but
Yeah.
Mac, this is the crazy part. We got Barack Obama in with 13% of the population, which means white people voted. Do you know how
Yeah.
many people is not trans and not gay and not none of that that's standing on that shit? You got
Mhm.
people that's not even, they afraid to go against the shit.
Yeah, that's what I
They
think.
don't even they don't even really fuck with it. They like, boy, these motherfuckers crazy. But I boost the sales at the motherfucking gig because do you know that 7% of our company is trans, and we are equal opportunity employer and all this bullshit. They just benefiting off the shit. They
Yeah,
don't
we
believe
all in
that
the
shit.
we in the monetary society, and this
Yeah.
even and here's the thing with our government, right? Our government is being ran like a business. So at 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 the top of the ranking, they don't give a damn about the propagandas or the things that the little folks have to deal with on a daily basis, like everyday regular people.
Right.
They doing things to make money. So if this is if this is how we gonna change society to make more money, this is what we're gonna orchestrate. So they own the TV shows, they own everything that's pushing this to the community.
To that
So
point, though,
obviously it's a way to make money, and and in a couple more years it's gonna be something else.
Right.
Obama's to blame for that because in
And
2013 he rescinded the act that forbade the government from using propaganda on the American people. Obama's responsible for that.
Right.
He let them
he did.
allow the use of propaganda on the American public,
He
Well, he
and
did.
had
Obama himself his parents were both former agents for the CIA. His mother was part of I don't know, some kind of baby making program, and like his father was part of another clandestine program as well.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of research out there that's proven that like Obama was literally the first manufactured president from birth.
You guys ever heard of Manchurian Candidate?
He was the first one, Manchurian candidate, Obama. He still runs the presidency. He still runs the presidency to this day, or not to this day, but like he ran the Obama. Or under Joe Biden, he basically ran it because he never left DC. Most presidents, when they finish their 8 years, they retire and write a book. Obama didn't. He bought property in DC and stayed the entire time.
He knew.
And has had his fingers in everything.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole other conversation for that.
Right. Even in Joe Biden,
I can believe it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Joe ran nothing. Kamala Harris had the capability to run nothing. Somebody had to run that.
You know what though? It's so crazy that like when you dealing with business now and you making a living for yourself, no matter what you do, you gonna have to deal with somebody that's a homosexual. Ain't no way around this shit. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, it's like if you like a homophobic person, you gotta just get that shit out your system, unless you gonna live in a shell. Goddamn it! You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
think anybody's actually phobic of a trans person or a gay person. Like I don't understand using phobia. I mean, when has anybody in here ever been scared in a room with a gay person or scared? Like maybe when we were talking.
I don't think we're scared. I think. I'll go ahead.
No, they don't be scared. It's just a lot of niggas don't want to be around their ass at all. That's how we used to be.
Only reason I'm saying I'm scared is because I'm scared he gonna cross a boundary. I'm not afraid of you. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
I'm afraid of not saying ma'am instead of sir.
But you know what though? You know what, Red? On some real shit. On some real shit where I come from, we ain't fuck with them motherfuckers, period, right? The only reason why I got cool is because I started out cutting hair and I started working in barbershops, and of course they was working in there too. So it kind of groomed me into being cool with the motherfuckers. Right. Prior to that, I didn't fuck with the motherfuckers, man. Because it just wasn't a thing when I was coming
But can
up.
I tell you something though? I want to say something though real quick. Okay, so I have an uncle. He's homosexual, right? But I didn't even know that until I was like in my late 20s because he's very masculine, right? And one of my aunties had said something, right? They asked him about kids, and my auntie said his ass ain't having no goddamn kids. He bring, so and so with him every time. And I just like sat there like, because I'm like, damn, I got to thinking like, damn, you know what I mean? Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I got to thinking like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I'm probably like 25 at the time. I'm just like, damn. So now I got to think about it, and I said, oh, because I didn't know because he wasn't flamboyant. I didn't know because he wasn't how you doing, cousin. You know what I'm saying? He was just like a heterosexual. He was like he wasn't flame throwing. He wasn't, he was just himself, and he doesn't like he has boys, that he adopted, but when he's with his boys, he's always been a manly man. He just happens to like what he likes, and I don't knock that, and I prefer it to just for them to just be true to themselves. But what I don't like is that if we don't address them correctly, or we don't identify, really with their ideology or what they, are pushing with it, it's like our whole career, our whole anything could be like crumble because we don't agree or line up with it. So it be it's a slippery slope for me, should I say, in my profession.
No, real shit.
Right.
Same.
Yeah, I think everybody agrees here tonight that it is a mental condition that people have to deal with on their own, and we don't think that we should have to call people exactly what we're told to call, because that does infringe on our freedom of speech and things like that. But at the same time, you got to live with these people, and like Mac Moss said, you got to get over your bullshit, your own personal bullshit, and just get on with life. So we got one more comment into it. I don't believe they're afraid of people. I'll be telling straight people how to live. Who to love as to why straight person you think you have the right, and then they use the Bible, but seem like that's the only Bible verse peaceful. No, outside of being gay, nobody thinking about the Bible, everybody living it. This is a long comment. Holy crap.
Yeah. No, she invested though. I like that.
Me
I do
too.
too. I'm just trying to read the
Yeah,
whole
that's
thing.
what's up. But she
Why would
absolutely
you want
right though.
control over
But
what
she
someone else does with their body? Nobody telling straight people how to live. I agree.
Yeah.
I think we're just talking about more or less just compelled speech. Like if you have to say something, then you automatically like you feel like okay, that's an infringement right there. You're telling me by telling me I have to say something, you're telling me I can't say something at the same time, which is where the problem is, in my opinion. I don't think it. I mean, let's say I'm a Christian. As a Christian, do I think these things are wrong, or do I think they're weird and crazy? Yes, I do. But at the same time, there's tolerance, so I can't hate on these people because of their choice. I mean, we have free will. As long as they're not disrespecting me or hurting me in any ways, I'm not going to bother them.
okay, but the amendment is freedom of speech. So
Mm,
freedom of speech. Okay, so here's the thing, because I feel like a lot of people has stipulations when it comes to the freedom of speech. The freedom of speech means exactly what it is. I have the
yep,
freedom to speak my mind, regardless if I'm disrespecting you or not. I'm saying what the fuck I want to say,
yep.
right?
But it doesn't
But
protect you from the
but
consequences.
No, but we
I
know
was
that.
just finna say that though. But
Yeah.
when you put your motherfucking feet in fire, you can't get mad if you get burnt.
As
Yep.
long as you're
You
aware that you're,
entitled to say anything you want to say,
yes, sir.
as long as you're willing to deal with the consequences that
You
come
have to
behind.
stand on. You got to stand on business when you say it and stick behind it, or you can apologize, like some of these people when they fold. Like
Snoop
I kind of,
Dogg.
I kind of felt a little like less respect for Snoop Dogg when he
Me
folded and was like,
too.
"Oh, I'm sorry." Da, da. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're
What
a
you said
gangster
was
rapper who
right.
shot people. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
And what he said was right about the movie, though. That's the thing. What he said as a parent, and a
Yep.
grandparent was on point, though. I mean, he didn't say nothing
Yep.
disrespectful. He didn't
No.
cuss. He didn't say nothing. He
Right.
just said what was obvious, and that he backpacked that shit in 22 hours.
Right.
Yeah, he should not have fucking apologized at all. And I'm gonna say that obviously being a Hollywood person and feeling and living in California and California is another country. It's another culture. They are completely different people than we are as the regular Americans, and that is you can see that fact in everything in the media. Yeah, Snoop Dogg apologizing for that was definitely
Snoop
a
Dogg
leftist move.
apologizes for
Let me
everything. That
say
nigga
this.
soft now,
I
man.
think Snoop didn't have to apologize, but what Snoop did was he was trying to do some shit PR wise. See,
Yeah,
he's like a media mogul, and
he done
people like that. If you want to keep your status, you got to
sold
be
out.
you. There's things that you
Yeah,
can't
he went
say.
and sold out.
He
He
sold out, man.
ain't
Snoop
keeping
did
Yeah,
no
sold out, nigga.
status.
Don't
That
be
was a
nice, Cal.
sellout
Don't be
move.
nice, Cal. You
Yeah.
being nice. You being nice about it, Cal.
I
No,
tried
no,
to
he.
say
What?
it the
No,
best
you
way I
being
could.
too nice.
No,
I
no,
tried to
Cal,
be nice about it.
you saying the right shit, but this is what happens when you look up and you got 50-75 million dollars at your disposal. I'm talking about liquid, like it's nothing you really can't do. When do you start standing on business?
Right?
Because it's
I'm with
like,
him. I'm
what
with
the
you.
fuck,
Never,
nigga? What
because
the
you
fuck
want
is you?
more money.
But hold on, you want more? What Mac? What you gonna do? You got
The
50.
only the
What you
only
gonna do
thing a
with
nigga
more?
with $75 million want is 25 more million. He want 100 million.
He want to know me. He wants some more.
Okay, so
He's a
let's
greedy bastard, dude.
man. Here's the thing, and this is why I believe that they get a lot of these entertainers and rappers and artists in a chokehold, because they allow them to see these are normal people coming from shitholes just like us. They allow them to see a certain level of lifestyle. They get hooked on that shit.
Right.
If a billionaire take any motherfucker on this goddamn panel and take him and let one of y'all live with him for 5 months, and you
Right.
get whatever he get, you living like a billionaire, and then you wake up, you in the back of the limo, he dropping your ass off back to where you stay at now. You gonna be depressed like a motherfucker. You
Yeah,
ain't gonna want to go back to that shit.
it
And
makes
you know what?
split.
And you know what? To expand on that too is like just say that you had his money and you living like he is, and the thought that you could potentially lose it all.
Okay,
Like
but hold on. Wait.
well, let me say this. Let me say this because like where we at right now, we have a certain mindset right now. But once the motherfucker
Getting cut off in his jewels.
Yeah,
saying is good to any of that shit, I'm just saying these motherfuckers get put in situations to where they end up bitching them like that, or the people that speak up end up disappearing.
Okay, I get that right. I get that. Okay, that's fine. But like he said, Like he said, he got money, you know, he got that. Okay, like you said, like, I mean, damn though. I mean, you didn't even say, I mean, come on, it's listen. Okay, PR, you know, what you say, wording and stuff, right? He didn't say anything that was really, he didn't say shit wrong. He said that he recanted his statement because he said he had some friends that's LGBT in Hollywood and they know how he roll. That's what he said. But my whole thing is you were trying to cover your ass because you didn't want to, you know, but you didn't say nothing wrong. What he said was very PG-13. He wasn't,
very not hip hop. Very not hip hop.
yeah. He was like a grandpa saying that shit. Like
Literally, grandpa.
He wasn't like, riding the 6'4", Snoop saying the shit. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like that was like shucking and jiving, boy. Because it should be like it ain't about him losing no more money. You should be invested and did everything you run for 25 years. I'm pretty sure. I hope you didn't use some of these checks to invest, so you don't have to worry about if they unplug the plug, because what you standing for means something. You got grandkids that you don't want to perpetuate that shit to. So stand up like a grandpa and keep what you said because you didn't say nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
What they say on the bottom of the screen? What she say on the screen, Ski?
Okay. Hold on. Let me zoom in.
Woo! Snoop the type of black person that would have snitched on us for trying to escape.
Yep, go ahead, girlfriend. I like you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I'm just saying, all I'm saying is like, to whom much is given, much is required. Give me liberty or give me death. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
we got to start showing people that we ain't willing to do anything for money, because that's why they're out here sucking dick. They doing line, they playing, they doing all this shit for that money instead of having some integrity and saying no. But they don't, because they want the dollars. That's it.
That's why they go to Diddy parties.
Yeah, they want all the party favors.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, see, that's the. But here's the thing, because
you ain't gonna do that to my guy, man. You ain't gonna do that.
hey, I gotta play devil's advocate, because shit, I'll do anything for some motherfucking money as long as it don't jeopardize my motherfucking manhood. I'm dying with my manhood.
That's not anything.
I'm dying with my manhood. Anything outside of that, I'm gone.
Though they want your booty. That's the whole thing. That's why.
No, I'll just sacrifice a motherfucker. You ain't getting my booty.
They want your booty.
I give them an uncle or something.
Because
all right, we'll take 2 for sacrifice, 2 for booty. Copy that.
Right, I give you 2 uncles. Let me keep my ass.
But that's what they want.
2 uncles and an auntie.
That's what they want. So give it or don't.
Hey, you know what? And honestly, that nigga done enough for the game or whatever industry. He came out with cereal and shoe brands and all kinds of other shit. Reggae albums, Christian albums. He did it all, man.
I still know Snoop Lion.
Kids cartoons.
Yeah, he could ride out on the sunset and be okay.
He's everywhere. He's huge.
They sell his clothes at Walmart.
Pause.
All right, at Walmart.
Amazing.
I know, and shit. I wear some as pajamas over here and shit. No lie, nigga. I ain't gonna even hold you.
Oh, he ain't lying either.
No,
Snoop Dogg.
I ain't going nowhere in this shit. Like, I'm at home. I don't care.
Snoop, the most famous rapper in the world. That's a fact.
Nobody's knocking him. We just saying that he could.
No, we're not knocking him. Yeah, we're just saying that he shouldn't have backed off. That shows that they own him.
Watering down for these motherfuckers though. I hate the way we be always doubling down for their ass though. That's my thing about.
It ain't just they though. It ain't just for they. He did it with Gayle King too.
I'm just saying in general, man. Like, why can't? I mean, I'm not saying don't protect the brand, but damn, nigga, you already built the brand and you just being a parent. Nigga, stand on your business. Be about your word. My daddy taught me a man who word don't mean nothing ain't shit. So I'm just saying, if you said what you said about your grandkids protecting them, nigga, you going back rewording the shit ain't protecting them. It's still the same thing that was, you know what I mean? Like, shut up, dude. You just reworded the damn text.
Amazing.
I was thinking too, because you were talking about at one point, they get all this money and they get all this ability and this visibility. Why aren't they using it to turn it into something good? But
because Master gonna take it from their ass. They do too much for their community. Master gonna take it. That credit line gonna be gone in the morning.
Well, I mean, that's prime example. Like that's how Kanye West got out of his lifetime contracts by the whole Nazi thing and the whole Heil Hitler thing. He was locked into all of those contracts for life, essentially.
As soon as he got talking about their ass, they dropped his ass.
As soon as he started popping it, they dropped him, and now he owns his own stuff again.
Reverse psychology,
goddamn, bro. That was a slick play.
It was. That's
Hey
real good.
y'all, man, I'm finna get up out of here, man. It was always a treat when real players meet, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on y'all platform, but a nigga got to go to work. You
All
dig?
right. Oh,
Have
it's
a
the
good
end of the
night.
week.
Check us out.
Yeah, shout out to Mac
I
Mom, man.
appreciate the invite, man. You know, it's all love, man. So
Anytime, Febo,
Always,
Hope to
anytime.
see you next week, Mac.
I'll
yeah,
hit you in a
let
All
me
minute,
right,
know.
brother.
Mac. Have a
All
good
right,
night.
man. Be safe.
All
Yep.
right.
Check us
Yeah,
out, P.
man.
All right. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us tonight. Cal, thanks for coming on.
Man,
Ski,
thank you for
always
the
good
invite.
to see you. Sly
Always.
Fox, I didn't say his name this time, so I'm doing well. I'm doing
Yay.
better.
Yeah, it's working.
Coming
And I
up.
almost called Red Pill his real name, but I didn't do it tonight. And Evan, you just Evan because we know each other since little kids. So
You feel me?
everybody have a safe rest of your night, and I'll see you next week.
All
All
right,
right,
gang.
y'all.
Copy that.
Y'all.
Take it easy.
Letchaknow.